Hey, working on a Nissan Rogue fuel pump. Got to change the fuel pump out. Now, here's an interesting concept that even I did not know. So there's actually two units, believe it or not. Typically, there's only one hole for the pump to go into, but this Rogue, and it may be the same thing for some of the newer cars as well, is the new pump, it's got an internal suction hose that goes over from where that main pump sits over to this one, and this hole's got an auxiliary unit in there, to pull the fuel out of this chamber of the tank, because the tank is, there's a hump here for presumably for the drive shaft if it comes with all-wheel drive. But it also has a level sensor on this auxiliary unit too, which is kind of interesting. So I'm thinking if the PCM does averaging of the fuel level or how it determines it. It's just an interesting concept. I have never seen that before. Typically, the tank, even though it's got a bump on the middle, there's some sort of a small channel that'll allow the fuel flow between the two chambers. But yeah, there you go. You gotta pull both pieces out in order to get that hose disconnected. And the reason we're changing this perfectly functioning fuel pump on this Rogue is because it keeps setting a code for fuel temperature sensor. Nothing wrong with the pump itself. The pump's running. Man, this is corroded wires. These two yellow ones on the fuel temperature sensor. Actually, now that I think of it, now that I look at it a little bit closer, all the rest of them are too. Even the main fuel pump connections right here, those two stabs, are also, focus, not in the best of shape. So I know there's a technical service bulletin from Nissan where they say, oh, you bring the car in, and if these two wires for the fuel temperature sensor are hanging like this, you're supposed to get them up and get them hanging by this hook here. But what good is that gonna do? The frickin' wires are corroded already in here, and that's why it's an intermittent reading for the sensor. And you can't change the sensor itself, of course, because why would you be able to? That's it right there. A little chicken sensor that just goes up in here, and obviously somebody put it in here so you can buy this part, but I can't find it anywhere. The dealer won't sell it, so I have to change the whole darn pump assembly because of it. And the new one, nice and shiny, and it is mounted up there like they say it should be. So we'll see what happens. This new pump is a Bosch. I'd love to know who makes this original pump, because it's kind of crazy that it got corroded that fast. No way. Hang on a second. Wait a minute. Hold on. I think I see something. No freaking way. You won't believe it. Man. There you go. What's that say right there? Bosch. German parts strikes again. I am not surprised by anything anymore.